Alright, so I took a trip to Greece with some friends this summer and booked my flight out of Portland. I live in San Francisco though, so this is my excuse to make a road trip up north and kick off the summer with a great camping trip.
6 hours later, the sun is going down, but Connor's determined to bike for 2 minutes in Klamath Falls. Wait, the sunset's really nice.
So as mentioned, we made a quick pit stop in Klamath Falls. I saw a bunch of YouTube videos and some trails I wanted to try out, so Riley dropped me off at the top and met me at the bottom, so I just had to do the downhill part, which was great.
Trying to make it before all the lights gone though. I don't even see this, but the sunset is absolutely amazing today. But only a little bit of light left, so gotta get going. Let's go rip it. Come on. Look, it's a deer. There's a freaking deer here. Oh my god. What are your thoughts on the deer? Ah! I love it.
Oh, you can see it.
Oh, that's so disgusting.
You can see it.
As we massacred an entire generation of bugs on our way to Klamath Falls, we finally made it in the morning where we joined up with some friends from Portland. They were able to secure a little hidden spot at Trillium Lake the night before, which had a ton of room and breakfast was already cooking.
That is just so wrong.
What's your favorite thing about camping, Cam? That my friend from San Francisco comes and visits.
The other cars arrived. They've come bearing gifts. We got some gifts. Hold up your gifts.
Velociraptor.
What'd you get? What'd you get?
Sephora.
Whoa. Allie? I'm like eating at this no parking sign.
So we headed down to check out the lake, so just a quick first look, but man, immediately turned that corner, what an amazing view. The amount of paddleboards out there was pretty absurd though. It was kind of funny kind of watching all those go by. We were going to be adding on some paddleboards as well.
Yeet! Yeet! There it is!
It was absolutely packed on shore, so we brought up some dogs to cook up for lunch. Always got to stay fueled up and ready to go.
Next, Glizzy. Ow, fuck.
Wow. One of my favorite things about camping is being able to eat cool food in cool places. And so after a successful day on the lake, we headed back up to cook up some meats and have a great sunset.
More buzzballs somewhere.
How's the cooking going, boys?
Oh, you see these things? It's going good, brother. We got good meats.
The next day we headed over to a different lake called Clear Lake, where we lounged around a bit before heading back to Portland. We let the corgi loose, and he was a menace.
Look at someone and wonder, what is going on inside their head?
We had seen this OHV trail on our way up, and so we decided to check it out on our way back. Turns out it wasn't super well maintained.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
We came to the end of the trail. It looked to be dead end, so we were just trying to figure out, how to turn our cars around here. Josh made it out pretty easily here. We had a weird angle with the truck here, so this one took a little bit longer to get out of there. But eventually we made it out. Some of my friends had just gotten done with the STP, which is the Seattle to Portland bike ride, and said hi to them before taking a bike ride of our own. So it's a pretty cool bike ride. It's 2 days long, going from Seattle to Portland. You camp out at midway through. I was supposed to do it, but due to some injuries, I had to back out last minute. So instead of doing that, we lounged around Portland, went for a boat ride on our friend Steve's boat, who was super kind enough to take us out.
You gotta get in here for the tips. Come on, you know you want the dips.
Did some golfing and just had some great summer nights in Portland. I always say it, but if Portland was like this year round, the PNW would be undisputed the best place in the entire world.
are backing up for Greece.
Oh, baby.
Let's go USA.
Last time.
As the door closes on another chapter, a new one awaits us. What's up, guys? Here we are, Mykonos Airport. We've made it.
You sure
Let's go,
about
baby.
that?
Again, plug to always use TSA pre-check. Use my code in the description below so you don't have to wait like this guy.
We showed up, use a priority pass, use my code in the description. Yeah, $56 worth of food. Yum.
So we flew from Portland to Chicago. These guys have never had Chicago popcorn before, so we got a thing of Garrett's popcorn and the beer to kick off the trip. Nothing better than an airport beer. Maybe a shower beer, maybe a porch beer, but I don't know. Airport beers are up there. Next up was our Swiss flight from Chicago all the way to Zurich. I luckily had the whole road to myself. These guys had a experience though.
Thoughts on the flight number 1? Get some good sleep.
Flight number 2. I had a guy sitting on my lap the whole time. Makes me really smell bad, but...
So in Zurich, we had some time to kill, and the Priority Pass has 3 lounges on it. So we went here and ate some good old potato salad. Don't forget to use my code in the description so you too can enjoy some good Zurich potato salad. 20 plus hours of travel time later, we finally arrived in Mykonos and got picked up and dropped off in Mykonos City, where our Airbnb was.
Oh, the shower gets a little bit like that.
Oh my.
Whoa! Let's go. It's a perfect fit.
Wow.
Wow.
Look at this grease.
Our Airbnb was in a pretty sweet location, right along the main road and right down the street from the bus stop. We were fighting the jet lag, so our mission for the day was just to stay awake until sunset and get a good night's sleep to kind of reset our internal clocks there.
Yeah.
So this trip was inspired by our friends Thomas and Samantha going to a wedding in Athens. They were extending their trip after the wedding, and 3 of us tagged along and made a great summer adventure out of it.
Mykonos.
I had no idea cats were such a big thing here. I don't know if it's Mykonos or Greece in general, but there were t-shirts and trinkets all relating to cats here. We also made it to the end of our mission of the day, which was to see the sunset, and what a beautiful one it was. So the mornings were pretty hot still. It was around 85 degrees in the mornings. This is like 6 a.m. here, just trying to get some drone footage, kind of sleep off the jet lag a bit. You can see here's our Airbnb, pretty basic layout. I think Mykonos is pretty touristy, so they know they can charge more. We just have a main bed here, a bathroom over there, and then a bunk bed in the other one. I think in here we have a sleeping jet-lagged Cameron here. Our plan for today was to head over to the other side of the island, so we went ahead and bought bus tickets just up the street and pretty easily hopped on for $1.80 or a euro, 1.8 euros. You can get to Paradise Beach or Super Paradise Beach. Woo! Cam got some tips from some locals, and we ended up at the Paradise Beach Club. Yeah, with Cam's new shorts, he got some new ones there. So again, super hot. You would see people jumping around to these shadows because the sand was so hot. There was also this weird algae jellyfish going around, so it was like stinging everyone. So everyone had all these rashes after. It was kind of gnarly.
What do we want? A boat euro. When do we want it? Now. Carrying us through the days.
So this little crocodile here helped us make a lot of decisions on the trip. If you've ever played the game, you push down some teeth. If the crocodile snaps on you, you'll lose. So we left a lot up to chance there. We also got these things called euros, which are the Greek burrito, and definitely would recommend getting a ton of these. The croc also helped us make the decision of going to Delos. We had booked it earlier that day, and so went and checked out a slice of history of the mythical island.
To the 3rd and 2nd century BC, Hellenistic.
Our tour guide was pretty hard to understand, but it was still cool walking through the ruins, and it's actually in this game I play called Assassin's Creed. In the game you explore it as a thriving city, and the historical accuracy is pretty crazy good. And a fun little fact, Delos is known for the birthplace of Apollo and Artemis, and is actually a UNESCO World Heritage Site as well. We later went out to with folk that we met at the beach club and had a great night out, but also a very long night out because the next morning we were hurting. We were departing the beautiful island of Mykonos via boat and heading to our next island, Paros. Thomas and Samantha were on the boat coming off from Athens to scoop us on their way over. So on Paros, our only plan was to explore the area and have a relaxing time on the beaches. Paros is known for its white marble quarries, and definitely a lot more low-key than Mykonos. Thomas and Samantha booked all of our Airbnbs for us, which were super clutch. As you can see here, they did all the research in terms of picking out the best spots. This one was great here. You can see we have a couple bedrooms, and when you walked out our front door, actually, you were literally across the street from the beach. So it doesn't really get much better than this. Huge thank you to them for making sure this all happened.
All right, so we're here on the little balcony at the last place. We had an influencer count, trying to count how many influencers we had in Mykonos. And this island, we're gonna count the number of
Grains of sand on the beach.
All right, what are you gonna count on this trip?
Cats.
Cats. What are you gonna count?
The two easy boats.
The boats. What are you gonna count?
Poisonous snakes.
Poisonous snakes. Wow.
What are you gonna count, Connor?
What am I gonna count? I'm gonna count the amount of good times we have.
While the number of good times is always endless with these folk, we soon would find out if that would last. So we walked around a half mile up the road here to check out this neighborhood, get some dinner, and just take a nice stroll. Greece also has a ton of cicadas on this island, so you could hear them wherever you were, and ended up getting some classic seafood.
What is this? Stingray. This is for Steve. We're getting retribution for Steve Irwin here.
The vibes here were pretty freaking cool. We had a bunch of live music going on, all these waterfront restaurants, and just like, you know, not as thriving as Mykonos, but still a really good, thriving nightlife. The next day, we spent lounging around the different beaches in the different beach clubs, and we used the classic alcoholic beverage of ouzo to get water out of our ears. You can kind of think of it as Jaeger. It's kind of licorice-y. Honestly, not that great in my opinion.
Whispering sweet nothings.
But later that night, we did take the bus up the road up into Naxos, to enjoy some more Greek burritos and a nice night out. The next morning, we had most of the day to kill before heading off to Milos. Also, these ATVs are the way to get around, I think. You know, we see these on all the islands. We also saw the octopus being created and had some breakfast.
All right, we're here checking in on our accounts. Let's start with Tomas. How many boats have we counted so far?
2. We're up to 13 cats.
0 poisonous snakes.
15 sands.
We're all kind of tired, so waited for the bus, and the bus is super convenient here, and got a little recovery in.
I'm dying. Help me.
To help speed up the recovery process, we went to the Sanctuary of the Gods, prayed for good health, and lo and behold, it worked. You can see we have a full recovery here. Again, it was so hot that this AC sign drew us into this cafe.
What the dog doing?
And we hung out with just some ice cold beverages and these little brain teasers. You know, there wasn't that much brain activity going on, so this was perfect as we kind of mindlessly sat there working on these puzzles.
This is the oldest restaurant in Paris. The freshest meat in Paris.
Us.
We then headed down to the port to wait for our boat to take us over to Milos.
Act like you're hot.
So these little waiting areas were like little furnaces. It kept all the heat in there, and everyone was just drenched in sweat.
It's so damn hot. I'm switching to counting chimneys. There's one.
Again, Thomas and Samantha with an absolute banger of a booking. This Airbnb was overlooking this restaurant here and was just an overall 10 out of 10 spot. So the next morning, I was doing a dive. I was doing a cave dive and a shipwreck dive. So I woke up super early and headed out because we didn't have a car yet on this island. I was following Google Maps though, and it kind of took me this weird roundabout way.
I don't know if this is the right way, but it's what Google Maps is telling me to do. So we'll see. Yeah, I don't really think that was the trail. There's a little station here though. I'm gonna stop by. It smells like a sewage station. Made it. Let's go. Come on now.
So I had booked 2 dives with the company Dive and Milos, and we saw a sunken tanker for the first one and a cave dive for the second. The sunken tanker, this got caught in a heavy storm and crashed into the coast. We had a diver getting her open water certification, so you can see her asking everyone what their tanks are at, and since you can't talk underwater, you have to use a lot of hand signs. The dive is super cool though, and the thing I love about diving is that you have so much freedom to kind of go in whatever direction you want. You're not limited to an X and Y axis, so exploring the tanker was a ton of fun. Our second dive of the day was a cave dive, and we were diving the Sakia Cave. We had driven around 10 minutes out, and then we had to swim around 15 minutes out from shore, but it was really cool. You swim through this little ravine, and you get to the mouth of the cave here. Our tour guide said when you get to the mouth of the cave, be careful not to kick up too much dust because then our torches or flashlights wouldn't be as effective inside. At the end though, there was this light hole that made for a neat vibe. You can see all the excess air piling up and getting trapped up on top of the cave, something I wasn't really expecting, and it was a little bit disorienting there. At some points it was also super tight. You were horizontal, your tank was touching the top of the cave and your hands were touching the bottom. Pretty claustrophobic at some points, but overall just very, very immersive, super cool. And on our way out, you can see all these little critters and these little crevasses. So this was my first cave dive experience, but definitely not my last. Even though at some points I kind of thought, dang, if I died here, I don't know if anyone would find me because it's pitch black. It was still one of the best experiences I think I've ever had diving. So we'll definitely be seeking out some more cave dives. So after the dive, the rest of the group picked me up as they had rented a car at this point, and we headed over to Paralia Fieropotomos Beach to hang out here in some good weather and jump off this little platform here.
Love you, boys.
After that, we headed over to this restaurant called Medusa. I think Justin Bieber has been here, but on the way, we realized our car could not make it up some of these hills. So we had to get out, let Thomas drive it up, and then hop back in at the top of the hill. There was not enough juice in the thing, and the check engine light may have popped on a time or two. Cat count increasing for Josh.
Oh, this is such a cool shot.
After Medusa, we went to watch the sunset at Sarakiniko Beach. It's a pretty popular spot. Some guys on my dive told me to check it out. You could jump from all these different heights here, and the rocks stuck out over the water, so you never really had to worry about hitting the bottom and such. And there's only one sunset a day, and how could you not want to spend it at a place like this? In the same area, there were these old marble quarries and mines. You could walk through them. It was pretty much a maze, but it was pretty pitch black in there. And you can see when we take off the light, he's gone. The next day we went on a boat tour. It was an all-day thing. They provided breakfast, lunch, and free drinks all around. So it was a great time and would highly recommend doing one.
One, two, three, flip. This is our Airbnb in Milos. You come up here and you have this little alleyway here and you enter this little courtyard, little drawing area. 2 units there, unit upstairs, and this beautiful little place where you can eat breakfast and do all that. Kind of goes into there. Come back out and I'll show you a couple of the rooms. First room, luckily here, I have my own one right here. It's kind of a weird door. It opens up top and then bottom. A little bit messy, but classic room, AC, necessity, bed, no bathroom. It's a huge mess in there. But yeah, you got this. Shower. No top nozzle though here, even in the main area. So it's kind of odd. It's weird, like you close the bottom first and then the top. You open this one and then you push that up and there it is. We got a Josh here, a little living room. We got a cam here. And then you get a little view on this balcony. Whoa, 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 whoa. Bathroom, again, no top spigot. Bedroom with AC. Whoa. Whoa. Hello there. And the upstairs neighbors. All right, so you walk up the stairs here. You end up with this room and this patio up here with some tables, some more tables, some drones. A great sunset, view of the church, and this restaurant down here. It's great.
So after exploring Milos, probably my favorite island of the trip, we headed over to Athens, the big city. So to get over there, we took a boat, and it was like a pretty fancy boat. We had these nice seats, there were some tables, there was a cafeteria. We even saw a fight break out, which was kind of cool, and a person from the Band of Brothers, I don't know, some actor. But the cafeteria had a couple of different pastries because it was a long ride, and I was deciding between these two and ended up just picking this one at random, bit into it, only to find out there was just a hot dog inside. So we arrived in Athens and it was immediately a lot busier than what we were used to. The islands were nice and chill, and here was a nice bustling and thriving city. We took the subway to get to our Airbnb, which was located on the west side of the Acropolis here. You see everyone has a nice little room, AC is good, the tap water is also good to drink here now, so some great news there. As you can tell, we love rooftops, so we went up to ours to get a better look at the Acropolis, which we're going up to later the next day. The next morning, we were at the Acropolis, and the lines were absolutely ridiculous. You get to the top here, and we went super early, so I'd recommend going as early as you can to try to avoid the crowds, but it sounds like it's just all the time. Right across the way is the new Museum of the Acropolis, so this has a lot of artifacts from the old Acropolis and just all the originals here. They told the story of anywhere you dig in Rome, you'll find history, and that's what it's built on top of. Some locals enjoying the Acropolis Museum.
So hold me tight, I just wanna fade out. Somewhere we can shut the world away. I'm ready to hide, far from the fallout. They won't find us in the paradise we'll make. I fell down so low, don't know where to go.
Now that we're at the end of our journey, what's everyone's count at? You switched from
We're at 26 Suzuki Jimneys. I'm somewhere 60 cats, so I switched to turtles. I got one.
I counted at least 2 boats.
You're on more than that.
You're a poisonous snake.
Unfortunate.
What about you, Connor?
There was something in the water that made me go wild. Made me go wild. Made me go wild. There was nothing in the world making me smile. I can smile. I can smile. Standing on the edge.
Thomas and Samantha had left a day earlier, so we were left to fend for ourselves and book our own Airbnbs here. So not as good as them, but we managed to find one with a little rooftop up here and sat up for a great last night in Athens. So we headed to another rooftop for the sunset and got to watch a play spoken in English right below the Acropolis. Great experience.
And it feels like summer.
Bless you.
Feel like summer. Feels like summer.
What about my counts? What about the number of good times I was counting? Man, I'll tell you what. They were infinite.